Audio sync, take one. Hello viewers and welcome back to another video. This is just going to be a short video today, and a video that I did not expect to be making quite so soon. But again, it's about the Toshiba T6600C. I did a video on it a little while ago, all about it. This luggable PC from 1994. And one of the parts I've been after for it now for over 2 years is the turbo cache memory module. I actually had it saved in my eBay save searches for quite some time. I must have given up in the end, because when I had another look, it wasn't there anymore in that save search. And while I was editing the last video all about this, I thought I'll just do another search, and sure enough, one turned up on eBay. In fact, it wasn't just one, the guy had 5 of them, new old stock apparently. So fingers crossed it works. I have one now. If it doesn't work, it's going to be a very short video. I thought I'd make a video about this so we can do a comparison of it booting up with and without. I've done a timer recording already of it booting up without it. Once it's installed, we'll do another video of it booting up to see if there's any speed difference. I've also got a little benchmark test program as well, so we can try that out, and we'll see what we come up with. But before we do that, we'll take a quick look at it and see what it actually looks like. So we'll do that next. Okay, here it is. Got a little ruler there. That ruler is 6 inches long, 15 centimeters if you're in Europe. And here it is. It's quite a large unit, about 3 inches long. Just there, yeah. And about 2.5 inches wide. It's quite heavily populated actually. And some of the ICs can actually be removed. So ECM 256, U20, U21, U19, U18. I don't know what that means. If anybody does know, please feel free to comment. Maybe they have to be matched, I don't know. I wonder if you can actually upgrade them to make it more of 128k. That would be interesting. But apart from that, there's not a lot else on their board actually. Got some capacitors down the side there, surface mount capacitors, and some more underneath. Are they to filter out things maybe? I don't know. As you can see, there's a hell of a lot of pins. When you think about how technology has moved on today, what a SIM card can hold, it's remarkable really. Okay, next thing to do then was we'll plug it into the computer and we'll look in the BIOS and see if it actually shows up. Okay, so let's open this up. As I said at the beginning there, I didn't expect to be going back into this so soon, after spending so long working on it. Oh, I left a screw out there. There we go. Let's look inside again. As you can see, it's quite a big socket there. How many pins are there actually? I don't want to put this in the wrong way around. How do you know which way is which? That's the next question. Oh, I can see it now, there's a location pin there, there's a third pin. You can see that just there, look. And then there it is on the end there. There we go. There we go, it's in. Next thing will be to turn it on and see if it picks it up in the BIOS. I won't screw that down just yet, just in case. Okay, let's see if it's registers in the BIOS. BIOS is damaged, call your serviceman. BIOS disk and drive and press any key when ready. What does that mean? Okay, so after about 45 minutes of messing around, getting an error, I tried removing each chip individually from the turbo cache module, and number U20 seems to be faulty, because it's actually saying the cache is present, turbo cache present in the BIOS now, whereas before it was just locking up. The chip seemed to be getting warm. I'm going to pop that one back in a second and see if it's just a dodgy connection. You never know. I'm surprised it's working at all actually, with one missing. So we'll try that next and see how we get on. Okay, so I've just popped the U20 chip back in and now I'm getting that message again. BIOS is damaged, call your customer, call your serviceman. Serviceman, place BIOS disk in drive and press any key when ready. So clearly one of those chips, or that chip, is faulty. What to do next? Okay, so it's been just over a week since I recorded that last piece. This was supposed to have been a quick video, just plug this in and see it register and it all work, and it turns out it's not going to be that straightforward. I've since contacted the seller. In fact, I contacted him that day I filmed that last piece to explain that this is not working, it's not registering, it's putting up that BIOS error, and he said it sounds like it's not compatible with this computer, which I disagree with. I think this is just like a one-off device and it should fit all of them basically. I've still got a gut feeling about it, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I contacted him back after testing each of these chips and pulling them off and testing the board without each one. U20 is the one that seems to be faulty, as I said before. I've told the seller that, and I've said, seeing as you've got 3 or 4 more of these, can you send me a chip to replace this one that's faulty? And he's agreed to do that. Conversation's been quite frustrating because he's in California and I'm in England, and there's an 8-hour time difference, so it's been quite drawn out. I have tested this with some benchmark software as it is with that chip missing, and it's not registering basically, it's not picking it up, it's not giving any higher point score in top bench, and cache check, the DOS program cache check, that's not even seeing it, it says it's not there. So the Toshiba is seeing it in the BIOS, it's saying it's installed, but software is not. So he's sending me another chip, but me being the impatient person I am, I can't wait that long. So putting these labels off, I've actually found the model number out, and I've got one. I've ordered it from here in England, so I can actually test this out now. So we'll do that next and see how we get on. There we go. The model number, if anybody's interested, is a GAL16V8D 7LP. 7LP I think is the speed of the IC, and it's got another number underneath, D437SH01. Just going to straighten those legs out because they're a little bit bent. Still on the edge of my table here. They're all slightly spread out a little bit too far anyway when these are new. It's got a little lug at the end so you can't get it around the wrong way. There we go. Alright, that's it in place. Next thing to do is to plug it in. There we go. Okay, it's all back together, the card's in. Let's see if it'll work. Let's see if it'll actually boot, because before it was putting up that error on the BIOS. Oh well, it seems to be booting now, which is a good sign. It's booting. So that chip's worked then, I was right. So by taking each chip out and testing it with and without and so on, finding out that U20 was faulty, that's it then. So that was faulty in the end. Brilliant. Wonder if it'll actually register in the software this time. That's the next test to do. Just let Windows 98 load up, then I'll restart it in MS-DOS mode. Don't think it's any faster loading. Thought there might have been a little bit of speed difference in booting up. I'll have to do my stopwatch again and try it. forget just how long these things take to boot up. There we go. Restart in MS-DOS mode. Okay, let's have a look. I always get this mixed up, this bit. It's not very often I use DOS. Now I've got to remember where everything is. It's good that it's finally registering though, or booting rather. So I've got cache check, we'll try that first. Cache check. See if that sees it. The last time I tried this, it only saw the 8K cache, it's on board already. Right, here we go, and it's still saying 8KB cache. If you think you do have L2 cache, you might have 8 cache chips. Main memory speed 29 megabytes a second. Oh, that's a bit odd. It says cache enabled, but that must be the 8K. That's a bit disappointing. I can't see anything else that says anything about it. This machine seems to have one cache. Yeah, 8KB. So it's not registering. So I wonder if there is something in those jumper pin settings you need to change. Well, we'll try top bench next. Right, let's have a look. Benchmarking. Real-time benchmarking. Score 121, which is exactly what it gave it before I installed the card, which I didn't film. So there's no difference there either. So the card's registering now in the BIOS. It's got all the chips in place. It's booting up okay, but it's still not registering. I guess it's time to have a look at those jumper pins, which I'll do off camera. Well, what a disappointing ending, especially for me. I think this is probably the first video I've done that's a bit of an anticlimax, to be quite honest. I've run top bench and cache check, and they've both been given disappointing results. In fact, I got the same answers I did before I installed the Turbo Cache module. Top bench is basically saying the same score of 121, and cache check is just recognising the onboard 8KB cache that's built in the CPU itself. It's good that the BIOS is seeing it now. I'm not getting that BIOS message anymore, which was quite frightening actually, because I've seen that message before on one of my Toshiba Libretto CT70s, I think it's that one, which only pops up occasionally. So now that that replacement chip's installed, it's actually booting with it in, but I'm not seeing any difference in performance. I did try changing the jumper settings. I just did it one way, they're all to the right, I changed them all to the left, to 3 I think there was, and it made no difference whatsoever. When I compared the boot up speeds without Turbo Cache and with Turbo Cache, I couldn't really see any significant difference at all. So all round a little bit disappointing. Over 2 years searching for something only for it to have problems and then not make any difference at all. But I guess it's just one of those things, isn't it? Which leads me to think now maybe that seller is right and there is more than one version of this device for different machines. There's no model number on it, so I can't even do any research on it online. And when you type in Turbo Cache module, it just brings up more recent things. So there's no information out there at all about it really. So I guess that just brings me to the end of this video then. Like I said before, I'm sorry it's been a little bit disappointing, but it's just one of those things. So until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll be seeing you.